Hey, whoever's here already. Uh, Welcome to Evidence-Based Audio. This is episode 172, and this is, I'm calling this DMCA and Content IDs Scumbags Attack Again. And, yeah, right off the bat this time, sorry, but this is a huge pisser for me. This is so crazy upsetting. Here's, if you guys are just listening, here's on Facebook. I got a message, an alert. There are changes to your video. One or more actions were applied to your video because of a copyright match. And see details. Some of your audio was muted in 72 territories. Okay, so first of all, I'll just give a tiny bit about this one. There's nothing, as usual, there's nothing content IDable on here. This is me editing some drums. There's no commercial content on here at all. So this is just nonsense. The thing is, you can't, this happened to me before. So this was from 2019. This was at the end of months and months and months of this issue. The title was, "Please Help, I Am Being Falsely DMCA Flagged by Universal Music Group, AdRev," which is a content ID creator, and audiomicro.com. For the past few weeks, I have been relentlessly harassed and false copyright flagged by Universal Music Group whenever I do a Facebook live stream. These streams are educational videos I record myself in my studio of original music and are mostly drum recordings, which I then show how to apply EQ and compression to, for example. The stream is stopped, kicking off all the viewers, and then I have to file a dispute to even get the video back, but the stream is ruined. As a single example, and I just show what this one, I think in this one, I was only my voice. It was just me talking. Yeah, very scary stuff. But so I said, Facebook has left me absolutely no way to contact support, contact support and plead my case for a whitelisting or some other solution. UMG, Universal Music Group, has not responded to my emails, messages, or phone calls. On YouTube, AdRev, which turns out is also audiomicro.com, has DMCA flagged me for a video, which again has none of their content and is all original content of mine. You can hear the matching content for yourself. And I've tried phone, email, filed a counter at YouTube, and found no way to truly contact any of the people responsible. And I don't just mean the scumbags that are doing this. I mean YouTube or Facebook. I can't talk directly to them. These companies constantly virtue signal about how there's such moral, upstanding people helping out all the downtrodden and, sticking it to those rich tech billionaires, which they all are. But how they stand up for the poor and the oppressed. Well, YouTube, I am a very poor person of color who you're oppressing. Anyway, so there's nothing I could do. I made as many videos as I could about this when this happened to me. And it started happening to the bigger channels. And I think once that started happening, when they did a search, they saw my YouTube videos talking about this stuff. And I received some help from a lot of really big channels who I hope one day I can get back on my channel or get onto my channel for the first time. And it seems like I was whitelisted for a few years. But I mean, this was just ridiculous to happen in the first place. This is not how the DMCA is supposed to work. If you remember the early YouTube days, even before YouTube, there's kind of like these science wars going on where it was science people versus creationists, basically. The creationists would false DMCA flag science videos so that they would get taken down. The thing about the DMCA, the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, the thing that was supposed to protect musicians or whatever, never did. There were supposed to be serious consequences for filing a false DMCA flag. People were supposed to go and get in very big trouble for this kind of thing. And it never happened. People file It's not so much the creationists anymore. And I know it's going to cost me whatever viewers, and I don't care. This is what they call themselves. That's what I'm going to call them. The SJWs tend to shut down science videos the same way the creationists used to, by using this false DMCA flag. In fact, I even started a thing on Facebook called the False DMCA Flag Repository, and it's funny that I thought it was going to be dealing with creationists or whatever, but it ended up actually the main problems were people who I thought were really on our side, Anyway, there's nothing, this DMCA thing, it's not working. These companies that abuse the system for profit, they're not going to jail. And as long as they don't go to jail for this kind of stuff, they're going to keep doing it. This is crazy. Hey, Simon. Yeah, no, it is nuts. Last time I did a lot of digging. So it turned out that one of these content ID scumbag companies. So if you don't know, content ID is it's kind of a system where it automatically checks, artificial intelligence, or automatic, for real. It's not people doing it. If they hear similar things between the content that's been paid to be protected, and then the content that you're playing, if it's the same thing, it's like a content ID match. So it turned out that one particularly disgusting copyright content ID scumbag troll bought some commercially available drum samples, ones that we all use in when doing drum sample replacement or enhancement or whatever. Let's not even get into that argument. This is a very popular sample library, and these criminals uploaded that sample library to Content ID. And alongside that, they did a whole ton of Contact keyboard, B3, piano patches, and things like that. So when a legitimate song, who legitimately paid for the rights to use all this stuff, came up and played, they'd get nailed. And the worst is for the guys who have time-sensitive videos, like guys who do news videos. Sure, if your video gets put back up 3 weeks later, that's great, but you lost all the possible revenue you were going to have over that if you're not doing like long tail kind of videos. And that's what these guys had pulled. So in that case, I want to say I was lucky in that, because so many people got nailed at the same time, YouTube or Facebook or whoever it was did something about it. But is this happening to me again? I'm really upset. Like, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. And the craziest part is that we pay, I think as a company, we pay for Facebook ads. And now I'm to the point where, like, I'm not paying somebody who's actively trying to destroy me and who I cannot contact in any way, shape, or form. No accountability. So it's happening again. If I ask for help, I may ask for some help dealing with this problem. We'll see how this goes. Facebook actually responded to one of my reportings, but obviously they didn't read it. They were asking me this channel is only for complaints about content that we remove based on a report of copyright infringement. If your complaint isn't related to a copyright issue, you might not receive a response. Please note, submitting an appeal does not guarantee that the content will be restored, and in rare instances, we may not be able to restore content due to technical limitations. You may also want to contact the person who submitted the report to resolve your issue with them directly. Oh man, I would love to. So I wrote them back. The original report number of the complaint at issue. I don't have a report number. All I received was this Facebook link and the thing that I showed you guys. Identification of the content that has been removed, to which access has been disabled. This one's hilarious. I can't tell what exactly was removed because no information was given about it. The audio had a lot of explanation and pauses in it, so it's hard to know what was removed. And I'd really like to talk to these people directly. I would love to talk to these people directly. Yeah, in person, I would really, really love to talk to these people directly. So Facebook, if you can make that happen, I'll be happy to see them. And the last one was an explanation why you believe the content should be restored. And I said, it's not necessarily that anything should be restored. This should not have happened in the first place. Just like what happened with Facebook 3 years ago. Most of this was against my own speaking voice. No music, no content ID, just my voice talking. And it's such a goddamn pisser. And yeah, I am super upset about this because it started on Facebook and then it spread to everything else. It spread to YouTube and Twitch. People need to get the consequences that are spelled out in the law for this DMCA abuse. That would fix not just this, but it would fix a lot of the internet. A lot of the worst troublemakers online are constant DMCA abusers. And so, getting rid of them is just a good thing. All right. And so I saw a video from Doug Marks, and hopefully you know who he is. He was the father of Metal Method. A lot of us learned guitar because of Doug Marks. He had a video up with this thing called RipX, and this scares the hell out of me. Hitandmix.com. Extract stems for DJ sets and DAWs. Create backing tracks and solo parts. Produce music and desktop audio. So there's deep remix and deep audio. I don't know what all this stuff is, but well, yeah, I'm not too sure what this is, but let's look at extract stems for DJ sets and DAWs. So it's kind of like that. Okay, this is what I think it is. For like Melodyne DNA, how it can kind of separate the notes out. I think that's how this is happening with this. It's just absolutely incredible. So it's you put in your stereo track and then it splits the audio up into different stuff, which is pretty nuts. Let me pull up Doug's video. Hey Doug, okay, see, here you go. Don't DMCA me, Doug. This is gonna be transformative in nature, fair use, right? And besides, go see Doug Marks. Doug Marks, YouTube, Doug Marks, metalmethod.com. Okay, is that good enough? Here we go.
Hi, I'm Doug Marks with Metal Method Guitar Instructional Videos. Now, I've been using a program that I believe is the next game changer for musicians, and it's called RipX. Now, I'm not affiliated with RipX other than being a satisfied customer. With RipX, you can take an audio file of a cover song and drag and drop it into the workspace window. The program rips the song apart into individual tracks that include vocals, guitar, bass, drums, kick.
I'm so interested to see how masked this is. Like, is it the full frequency of that drum? I would imagine that it's only, like, so much masking is going on. Like, if you're really just looking at it as Photoshop or as a picture, there'd be all kinds of holes in it, but still it'd be good enough to make the mix back up out of. This is really interesting. Just the other day I was looking for backing tracks so I could learn songs, because we're thinking of being in this tribute band, and I'll tell you more about that later, maybe. But I wanted to play along with the song and just turn off the lead guitar or whatever. So this would be great for me.
Drum and other percussion. You can use this video.
Let's just
show
how he does it.
Recorded in 1986, and drag and drop it into the program window. Couldn't get much easier than that, right? Okay, so it has ripped the file. Now normally it takes about 8 or 9 minutes to actually rip the file, so this is abbreviated. This is a very simple program to use. It does all the work for you by ripping the track and displaying the tracks at the bottom of the window. I began using the program without even glancing at the manual. When I had to check everything, are all the tracks, master volume right here, voice, guitar, bass, violin. Now it captured some of my guitar parts as,
and I think violin. At the end,
and if you identify, and normally
I'm really scared
you don't
about
need
this
to do
DMCA
it
thing right now
in a separate layer. Once the song has been
Yeah, here you
ripped
go.
into separate tracks, the tracks can be exported
There you go.
and imported into your digital audio workstation.
Which should be Reaper, Doug, but I think you're still using Sonar, aren't you?
Now we'll take a moment and
Hey, by the way, I don't know if this is actually him that you're hearing in here, but I found out that Doug's drummer in one of these bands was Scott Travis. How's that?
we will solo the vocal. Simply click on the S, play the exact same part.
It's been so long since I've seen you, forgot about your ways.
How incredible is that?
This stuff is scary. Like, think about how many songs right now don't have a single real drum in them in any way, shape, or form. You know, we're like, oh, okay, well, maybe. Think about how many piano parts are are definitely not piano, right? A couple of years ago, they started coming out with bass guitars that were pretty damn good sounding. Like, not that there hasn't been not real basses on albums for a very long time, but then you remember was it IK Multimedia or TuneTrack or somebody had Easy Mix? Like, it's sort of mixed for you. There's like all these automatic mastering programs. There's like guitars and stuff. This thing's ripping a song apart. I mean, come on. This is crazy technology. So that's, it's always scary. I always think about those radiologists, right? Like the computer is so much better at detecting most type of cancers and stuff than the radiologist can. And so it's all those years of school, it's probably for nothing very soon. And, you know, technology changes things. And wow, like this one is incredible, man. So go check out RipX. Definitely check out Doug Mark's channel, or at least Metal Method. You know, don't let the name scare you off. This guy will teach you anything. There's actually a lot of people there that plays all different styles, so don't worry about the metal thing. Yeah, I had a mic preamp fail, and you know, because we had RME Digiface USBs around here, which have ADAT inputs and outputs. You know, really just want the 8-channel mic preamps with ADAT outs. And on the show several times we've had talks about these things, and you know, sadly, it doesn't seem like there's anything new out that we haven't talked about before, and it's kind of time to, because the was that thing we were talking about last time? It's the Audient Evo. This is the thing, man. This has got I know they call it an Evo 16, but I don't. I think it has 2 ADAT ports, and it has 8 channels of mic preamp already on it. Yeah, 24 in, 24 out. So it's got 2 ADAT ports. Can we see them? Yeah, here we go. 2 in and 2 out. So I guess you do 96K or whatever, or hopefully you can mirror them. Yeah, so because these are out, you know, hopefully people are looking at what 8-out out mic preamps we got. But I looked through a whole bunch of lists. Here's another one. Audient ASP 800. You know, not bad. It's a little pricey. Everybody says all this incredible stuff about these. Who knows? There's the 880. That's a little bit more money. I like how they never put prices on these kind of like. I'm so convinced that some of these websites are just like some Upwork or something, Air Gigs or whatever. Claret Octopre. Okay, so this is kind of freaky. I'm not sure if this one is still going to be available. Let's look for Octopre, because there's a really awful thing that's happening right now. Claret Octopre. I almost got one of these. Instead of the Octopre Mark II Dynamic, and I probably should have. I didn't want to have to deal with this DB25 connector, but in hindsight, not having that stupid compressor that I don't care about would have been nice. But anyway, it looks like so these are out of stock. Now, I don't know that means that there's going to be more, but I have heard from very reliable sources and from, looking at stock, STL Control Hub, I'll go take a look at that in a second, that because of this chip shortage, there's actually a lot of devices that that we may not be seeing anymore. Manufacturers are, I'm being told, are choosing to cut certain parts of their lines, and man, that's actually kind of scary. Okay, let me look at this real quick. STL Control Hub. What is this? Mix entire. Load an entire signal chain based expansion pack from your favorite mixers and recording studio. Interesting. Yeah, I'll check. This looks interesting. Anyway, let me go back. So, oops. Yeah, Claret Octoprix may still be around. It's around the same price as this Audient thing. Behringer Ada 8200. Now, I know I keep going back to this thing because it is so goddamn cheap. And supposedly this is the same thing as in my XR18 and X32s, which I love. And I hear they have problems and stuff, but these things are like $200. And I got to just stop being a snob. I mean, for $200, I should just run the damn things. I think that there was some poor performance on this compared to the XR18 actually, but here, let's read like what these guys say. This is why I call this content light. Like, I think this is just like copy and paste nonsense that these guys put up, and then they have like an Amazon link or something. If you own the homerecordings.com and I'm wrong, please let me know, but that's what it feels like. Because listen to this, says right here. In terms of sound quality, it cannot be compared to something like the Audient ASP800. Okay, why? What do you mean audio quality? So what did you say about the ASP800? Are there actual audio words in here? It has an iron processor, which gives you transformer saturation, analog feel or something. Sound-wise, it can't be beat. It sounds clean, quiet, very accurate, and transparent, and provides a lot of headroom. What do you mean by that? Not a single goddamn number or quantity written down right there, or unit of measurement. So I don't know what's wrong with this one. Sound on Sound, I think, did some tests, and it may not be as good as the X32s, or there might be some problems, but I'm sure it's fine. I should just stop being a snob and get some of these. The Midas XL48, which was another one that I was looking at, should be the same as this Behringer, right? Or maybe not. I don't know for sure, but it's saying 8-channel preamp. Let's see, pad and phantom power on each channel. Okay. Polarity flip and high and low pass filter. 2 8-out ports on the back for outs, not ins. It comes with a cooling fan. Ouch. This Tascam Series 8P Dynamic we talked about. For the price, I don't know, I'd probably just get the same Focusrite one. The Art Tube Opto 8. Remember, this sucker kept winning blind tests and stuff. Turns out it's a pretty good piece of gear, even though it's got a tube in it or whatever. And it's not that expensive, but man, I don't want tube stuff in here. I don't want to deal with it, but it's pretty old by this point. RME Octomic, he's like 5 billion. As much as I like RME, this stuff is just crazy money. Grace Designs, the M108 still here, same thing. So there's nothing really new under the sun that I see here, which is sad because we really need more. Okay. Somebody was talking about a possible polarity problem with the crossover for the Celestion F12X200, which is a speaker. I think it's a concentric speaker where it's got a tweeter inside the woofer, so it's like one perfect in theory for full range flat response stuff. And then because I remember reading before about their F12M150, which was one of the same kind of thing. This one says triple cone. Interesting, but it's in a category called full range live response. Now, I thought we were a full range flat response. What in the world is full range live response? And see, this one says triple cone. I only see 2 cones. Let's see. It features 2 additional tweeter cones integrated into the main woofer cone. Oh, I only see 1, but that's interesting. Okay, so what is FR versus FR-LR? Okay, so here's what they're saying. It's a full-range live response feature purposely designed for use with amp modelers and IRs. Its unique design features 2 additional tweeters. Flat, 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 flat. Triple cone is designed to closely mimic the responsiveness of traditional guitar speaker, delivering all the tactile feel you would expect from playing through a conventional guitar rig. It's not just FR, it's full range live response. So maybe that's what it is. The speaker dampening or whatever is going to be closer to a guitar speaker than a PA speaker, because they are slightly different there. You know, that's what FR-LR is. So are we going to be hearing that now for Lur? We shall see. Okay, and then I think his name's Henning. He has a video about don't believe what you hear about FR speakers, and he brings up some good points. They're PA speakers. Trying to say that there's something different is mostly nonsense. But like you just read with that Celestion thing, perhaps they're going to use guitar damping factor speakers rather than PA. I don't know exactly how much different that's going to make, but it could be substantial. I remember changing out my vintage 30s for these Electro Voice PA speakers. And holy crap, man, I could make so much more low end, like this chugging bass before the speakers would fart out. It was mind blowing. And then when you stopped, it just felt like somebody threw a noise gate on. Like they just stopped. It's a different feel. So maybe that's true. But his video is called "Don't Believe What You Hear About FR Speakers," and it's at EYTSCHPI42. I thought he had a channel that everybody watched, because I always see him on Glenn Fricker's channel. Henning's a dumbass. Oh no, I guess that is his normal channel. Well, speaking of Glenn, I hear that this week sometime the second audio myth busting roundtable will be out. So we're still doing it. So let's see how that goes. Anyway, Henning points out a lot of things about FRs, like especially how crazy ass expensive a lot of these guitar ones are. And really, if they are using a different speaker or whatever, maybe it's a little bit more, but I mean, most of these are like, you can get a decent ones for like $300, like really loud, like blow your 4x12 off the stage loud. And pretty damn flat, like these altos like I got, or there's plenty of them out there. And then they go up to crazy, crazy money. And he just points out that, you know, pretty much the more expensive they get and more guitar specific, the more features you lose. So it's really just a decent PA monitor. And I think that's all I really got time for today. So go check out this video if you want to know more about FR stuff. Don't believe what you hear about FR speakers. And I'll see you guys next week.